Hey everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I have a design team project for Scrap and Ink Crafts. And my assignment today was to use a sketch, and it's Sketch Sundays, so the Sketch Sunday crew is hanging out with us as well. So the sketch is number 124, and I am starting with just some scrap pieces of paper from my stash in some Winnie the Pooh colors. So I'm doing two photos. One is of my daughter with Winnie the Pooh in the background because we didn't wait in line, but he's waving like he's seeing us. And then the other one is Pooh and Tigger. And we were actually in line in Splash Mountain, and so I just snapped that picture over the top. So I'm actually going to kind of flip the pictures. My big one's going to go on the right side and my little one's going to go on the left. And my pictures are swapped as well. So instead of the portrait and horizontal, they are portrait and horizontal, but they're swapped. So I have that big piece of Hello Love red paper in the background. And then I am going to add that pink and red heart paper at the bottom. I'm not going to make it into a banner though. So it's just gonna be how it is. And then I'm gonna map my photos with some yellow and white polka dot paper. And you can kind of see how that is gonna look. So there is that extra strip on that banner, and I was thinking maybe I was gonna go with that branding strip of the cameras, but instead I'm gonna do the yellow ticket. I decided not to add any black to this layout. I decided to just keep it quite warm. So off camera, I did pull out the Honey Pot set die set, and I did make a honey pot, which I'm not sure if I showed you. There it is. It is so cute. So I made the pot out of brown, and I did the red out of the honey. It does say honey on it, and then the yellow is like a yellow grid for the honey coming out. And then for my title, it is Fun at the Park. And that is the Park and Phrases die set, which is so cool. Like, I think you get 4 or 5 phrases in there. I did show it to you. So now I am going to work on what could be some mixed media in the background of the sketch where all those stars are that they cascade down. So I used the kind of honeycomb die from the Honey Pot set, and I cut it out 3 times on a piece of scratch white paper, and then I took some Distress ink in Scattered Straw, and I'm going to do 3 separate spots. So I'm going to use each of them once, and I did save them because I can use them again, but I didn't I didn't want it to wait for it to dry. I guess I could have inked them all up first and then went back and did the glitter glaze on top afterwards, but for some reason this was just easier to me. So I go ahead and add the ink, and then I'm going to add the glitter glaze, and I'm going to do that in that complete diagonal that you see in the sketch. And I will set that off to the side and make sure that it dries pretty completely. I am adding my photos here so I can get an idea of where I want this last piece. And I just adhere it down with a little bit of washi tape just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. And I have these little blending brushes. I don't know that they're my favorite, but they do the job, and I'm not quite ready to invest in anything else. So for the amount of ink blending that I do, which isn't very much. So I'm going to go ahead and add this glitter glaze down, and you can kind of see it in, I guess you would call it almost a stencil reveal, because I am using the die as a stencil versus as that die. So here it is all dry, and I'm kind of showing you how it looks and how it sparkles. And I'm going to go ahead and put my photos down. I do want them overlapping a little bit like the sketch has. Now I am going to put my title down in the bottom of the picture where my daughter is because I didn't want to cover up my fun little mixed media that I have going on. So I go ahead and put that down at the bottom. I add my cute little honey pot, and I actually made 4 of these honey pots. So I have a feeling that those are going to come back. So I'm trying to decide which appliques I want to use. I love these. They are so soft, and I just like to touch them. These ones are called Warm Fuzzy, and they are definitely warm and fuzzy. So I was thinking of using the yellow and the red, but I'm going to end up using the yellow and the brown. Now I do have a couple of acrylic pieces. These are from the Pooh and Friends #1. I am going to use Pooh and I'm going to use Tigger. And they're perfectly situated to sit on top of things, like on top of your title, which is what I was trying there, on top of the honey pot for sure, or on top of your pictures, which is actually where it is going to go. So I felt like he was just kind of hanging out at the bottom, and it didn't seem like he was sitting on something, but when I put him on top of my picture like that, it worked out really good. So here's where I decide to swap out that applique, and I have the layout in front of me and I am totally touching them. They are so soft. They're super cool. So I am going to finish off this layout with some pixie dust, which you know I love. I'm trying to show you all the fun little bits that are in there. This is the Pooh's Corner pixie dust. And there are these cute little bees in there, like acrylic bees. So I decided to put 3 of those on top of the honey pot. And then there's some clay pieces that are honeycomb. So I scatter those in 3 different places. And then I am going to finish it off with some sparkle gems. So I did a red one and 2 yellow ones. And then also in the pixie dust are some clay Mickey heads, and I'm going to grab one of the red ones, and I'm going to put that down at the bottom. Now, from a layout that you will see coming up later, no, that you saw earlier this month, get my layouts right, with my multiple Monday and all of the bows. I had a couple of those left. They were sitting on my desk there, and I thought, well, maybe one of those appliques needed a bow because Julianne has her ears on with a bow, and they are yellow. So I was thinking, well, maybe it needed it, but ultimately I decided that it did not. I would love to know in the comments if you think that brown little applique needs a little yellow bow. Because when I put it on there, I still kind of felt like maybe it did. So I'd love to know. Make sure you head down to the description box. I will have the shop linked, as well as my code Crystal B as in boy 15, and that'll save you 15% in the shop. So remember to wear your crown, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and all the Sketch Sunday girls will be down there too. Bye.